Distinguished ladies and gentlemen in the hall, one of the most learned person of the industry, Dr. Susmita Dasgupta, is on the chair of the session, and seeing her, I am changing the tone and temper of my presentation, and I will not deal with the datas and all the facts and figures. A lot of those have already been told in this house since morning, and ma'am is there to deal upon those. So I will take you back to a situation. One of my ex-sale colleague was talking about the human intervention that we in logistics industry face now and then, every now and then. We have talked about the future of logistics. We are talking about the present of logistics. I will just take you back to a situation some 15, 17 years back, the plight, the day-to-day challenges a logistics professional used to face. People sitting here in the national capital of Delhi, just imagine, there was a place called Bodbil. Today everybody is aware of this place because it is the iron belt of the country. Bodbil, Bonai range of the place which was difficult to be found on the Google map of the country prior to 2000, all of a sudden sprang back to attention, and from 2000 onwards something happened that changed the socio-economic map of Bodbil Bonai sector of Jharkhand and Odisha. A passenger train which used to run for 22 decades connecting the mining sector to Jamshedpur and Raurkela, where starting from tribal people to their livelihood, sal leaves, goat, chicken, all were moving together. Indian Railways started flying Jan Shatabdi Express, AC compartments, garages mushroomed, diesel pumps opened up, different SUV brand of cars arrived in Bodbil, malls opened, hotels opened, and all these things were happening. People, innocent people at Bodbil were failing to discover, failing to know the reason for such changes. And the answer was, there was 2008 Summer Olympics was to be held in Beijing. I am talking about the challenges of a logistic professional. Olympics was being held at Beijing. Iron and steel industry was seeing a boom in China, and the ripples, rather the waves, were felt in Bodbil Bonai sector of Odisha and Jharkhand. That is the concept of global village. Imagine the challenges of the logistic professionals where there are no roads, no trains, no internet, no emails, nothing, and the logistic professionals in those areas used to manage from bolts to belts, hoses to house furnitures, machines to mechanics, and what not, for their survival, for their existence, for their growth. And that is why the evolution will take care of itself. Today, whatever challenges we are facing, the software will be there, the technological interventions will be there, but the manpower, the skill that we want, the human skill in logistics. We were talking about in the morning that with logistics ministry's intervention, the modern faculty has been opened in 18 colleges with modern logistics as a course. Now those things are also required, the skill and talent and potential development in the logistics sector, which was earlier used to be unheard of. Whether it was Beijing Olympics or whether it was a cyclone Debbie in Australia in the year April 2017, that entirely make the entire planning of steel production in our country go haywire. One cyclone in Australia disturbed the ships, disturbed the vessel arrival, disturbed the coking coal arrival in the country, and the country faced the plight for 8 months to almost 12 months. I need to say that each and every technological intervention need to look into all these possibilities that is happening across the globe, and the need is all the more, the challenges are there. Talking about my company, Steel Authority of India Limited, having 5 integrated steel plants at Bokaro, Raurkela, Durgapur, Banpur and Bhilai, having 11 captive iron ore mines, 3 captive coal mines, 4 captive flux mines, importing almost 15 million ton of imported coking coal from different countries across the globe, and along with almost 2 million ton of flux from abroad, having presence of its marketing network in almost 600 districts of 714 districts that we have in India today. This Maharatna public sector company is facing a challenge of joining the bandwagon, joining the national steel policy of Government of India. Today, when we are producing 16 million ton of steel, India is producing 52 million ton of steel. We are aspiring, we are dreaming to produce 300 million ton of steel in 2030. In a span of 2007 to 2017, from 51 million ton to we have come to 103 million ton. We have moved 50 million ton. And in another span of next 10 years, we are trying to move 200 million ton plus over and above 103 million ton that we have today. The infrastructure that is required for a steel industry, for the inbound logistics. Let us talk about inbound logistics. We import coking coal from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, USA, Mozambique, Indonesia, and the basket is widening day by day. All these vessels will come up. I'm sorry, I'm not going through my regular presentation, but I will tell you that in the eastern center of India, in Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bengal, almost 80 to 85% of steel plants are clustered center around. And we have hardly 4 to 5 major ports there, major and minor ports. The private sector big ports are also called minor ports. So the number of ports are still same: Paradip, Vizag, Haldia and Dhamra. Those ports will be expected to handle this volume of business, this volume of imported coking coal. Along with imported coking coal, thermal coal, flux, everything will be imported, because we, in our own inland resources, we do not have much of imported coking coal. We still, even if we depend on imported coking coal for 70% imported coking coal, still then the volume will be much more. We do not have mechanized berths. We have limited number of berths on the port sector. Each and Dhamra, a huge port, having only 2 mechanized berths. Paradip doesn't have a mechanized berth today. Haldia, though have mechanized berth 1 mechanized berth, 3 semi-mechanized berths, is inherent difficulty of riverine port having limited draft limitation. Vizag port has got its own limited berths. The mechanization is yet to take place in 2-3 berths. All these resulting into pre-berthing delays. From logistics point of view, whether a vessel wet at load port, the wetting at the discharge port in India is increasing day by day. Starting from that discharge port delay, pre-berthing delay, to the port charges, because the plot is very limited with the ports. The plot charges, the evacuation problem, the same railway track that we have, railway is coming up with GPWIS. Challenges are many for the evacuation of the inbound imported material that we are importing. For every ton of steel, we need 1.65 ton of iron ore. If SAIL today has got all captive iron ore mines, but for moving that iron ore, we need rakes. For moving that iron ore, we not only need help and support from railways, we also need to introspect and develop our own infrastructure system, whether our loading and unloading system is sufficient enough to reduce the turnaround time of the railway rakes. Challenges are many. Today in steel and in SAIL, for outbound movement again, our loading time is more because of the infrastructural issues that we are looking into. So whether it is inbound, whether it is outbound, the challenges are manifold. All these technological interventions of IoT, of artificial intelligence, of blockchain will come into place, but we must have steel industry being a large infrastructure based industry. The general hardware, the infrastructure part need to develop. There is an option of multimodal logistics, but inland waterways are still in a very nascent stage. Coastal shipment, still we are working out our cost economics. Everybody is whether in SAIL we are working out whether we can move our cargo from this side, eastern side of the plants to western coast through coastal shipment. Again, but for coastal shipment, again the last mile and first mile connectivity is much more challenging because things will move by barges, things will move by vessels. But what about reaching the product from the plant to the port? Again, the same rail and road combination is required. What about taking the steel from the ports to our distribution network, to our warehouses? The more we handle a product, whether the coastal shipment berths are equipped, are sufficient enough to handle these, to handle multiple, for this multiple handling of cargo, which ultimately may lead to damages. We were talking in the morning about the packing industries. SAIL as a whole, the entire steel industry is looking into all these options of finding innovations in each and every sphere, whether it is getting our coal at the port, whether it is evacuating the coal to our plant, whether it is getting iron ore from our captive iron ore mines to the steel plant, or whether it is moving outside steel, all these things, and the distribution network. The railway today has come up with GPWIS scheme. Many industries have accepted this. In fact, SAIL has also been approved by Railway Board, has approved certain, some 10 sets of rakes under GPWIS scheme. There are a lot of ports today who are coming up with GPWIS scheme. The ports say that the industry did not buy the rakes. They will buy the rakes, and with long-term agreement, we can use those rakes. The ERR ratio can be ensured by the ports by combining their export and import volume. All these things again need to be, there has to be a detailed professional approach, outlook to this. I can say here that in steel there are a lot of private sectors where they have a separate logistic vertical. In SAIL we have, only last month we have created a separate logistics and infrastructure vertical in SAIL, which will be looking into all these options. So challenges are many, but we are confident that we will be able to cope up with these challenges. And there are many expectations from the Government of India also, whether it is Ministry of Shipping, Ministry of Logistics, Ministry of Railways, all these issues. It has to be a synchronized effort, because it is ultimately logistics cost that is going to, lot of data analysis has been done by KPMG is here, BCG is there, Logistics Ministry is also doing trying to find out the logistic cost of Indian industry. Ultimately somebody will win the race, somebody will win the game if he reduces the logistic cost even by fraction of a rupee. Because ultimately that is what matters, and there where there is still lot of things to be improved, lot of things to be done. I will not tell much further, but everybody talks about being environment friendly. In logistics today, the transport, whether it is road, whether it is rail, we move our cargo, whether it is input material, whether it is output material, we must be responsible towards the environment, and we must also aspire to make, we must also try to make a green channel, try to make environment free logistics. Some thought should be given into that. Elecon presentation was talking about the environment friendly belt conveyors. So I will conclude. Again, I will try to connect you with our epics. I will conclude from that great epic Jesuvedas shloka, Madhumata Ritayate, Madhuksharanti Sindavaha, Madhyurna Santosodhi, Madhunaktamuto Soso, Madhumat Parthiva Braja, Madhudaurastu Nahabita, Madhumanu Vanaspati, Madhumamastu Suryo, Madhirgavo Bhavantunaha. Let the air be as pure as nectar, let the river water be clean and serene, let the atmosphere be clean. Let the wildlife live in eternal harmony, and let the plant and medicinal herbs shower blessings on us. For that conservation and protection of the nature, let our effort continue. Thank you.